On this channel, we have looked at Dailyscape and what dailies you can do to progress your account. But there are not only things that you can do every day, but there are things that you can do every week and also things that you can do every month. And the monthlies, or the stuff that you can do every month, is exactly what we want to look at in this video. Because often the monthlies are something that you can do in just a few minutes or even just 1 minute or something, and it gets you a lot of XP. Unfortunately, there are not really monthlies that make you a lot of money, but the amount of XP is also really worth doing them every month because they are so easy done. And in this video, I will show you what you can do and how to do it. If you like it, don't forget to leave a like. If you have some critics, leave a comment and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And now let's head right into it. So the first thing we are looking at is the Effigy incubator. And this is definitely the one that has the most requirements on this list because you need to complete the Sins of the Father quest, which has a few pre-quests and also some not all too low level requirements. For example, level 85 in crafting, rune crafting, smithing and invention. So it's not that easy to unlock, but I still wanted to cover it right here really quickly. If you have unlocked it, you can go to the Effigy incubator, which is a location that you should know if you already done the quest because the quest also happens there. You can then pull the lever to start off the 5 minutes that you have, and then you can start gathering material. And actually you have two options right here. Option number one is just to gather the materials and ignore everything else, and after the time is up, just hand in the materials to get the points for the shop to unlock stuff right there. Or you can also create the full effigies. In this case, you will have to gather the materials, then in the middle gather these effigy thingies, go to the workbench to create the uncharged effigies, and then put them into the incubator. And you can also put the effigies into the incubator after the time has run out, but if you do it on time, you will get double the effigies out of it. And now you're maybe asking what method is actually the better one, and this depends on what you want to do it for. If you're just looking for some quick, easy AFK XP, just gather the materials, hand them in after, and all good. But if you want to get the effigies, the uncharged ones after the minigame, which work, for example, like the urns in skilling, so you can earn more XP while training set skills, you should definitely create the effigies. But for me, in my case, I often just take the materials, take the free XP, and then leave it like that. Because creating the effigies and all that shenanigans is actually more stressful than just, taking the materials. Next up on the list, we have the giant oyster, and this one is actually pretty straightforward. The only requirement is to complete the Beneath Curse Tide quest, which has some pretty easy requirements with 30 in attack, cooking, fire making, magic, mining, smithing, strength and woodcutting. And after you have completed this quest, which is actually really cool, you can then access this D&D. You just go here to the wizard tower and then you right click Wizard Myrtle and dive right in. This means that you will go underground and you will be in this area. If you have completed the giant oyster the month before, you can now go and check it and open it and get your rewards, which will be like a clue casket and can contain, for example, lucky components or also dice and all that shenanigans. And now let's head for the juicy XP, because after that you can just gather the seaweed for some insane farming XP until you receive an item after a few harvests called the delicious seaweed. And after that you can go to the fishing spot and do the same right here. And I mean, look at these XP rates. This is just absolutely insane. I mean, just to get it out there to understand how OP these XP rates are. In this 53 seconds that I was standing there and fishing, I made about 200k fishing XP. 208k to be exact. So if you could do this method for an hour, and obviously there is the bottleneck because you can only do it once a month for a minute, but if you could do it for an hour, this would translate into about 12 million XP per hour. So these XP rates on these monthlies are actually absolute insane. And here too, after a few harvests, you will get a sea cucumber. And now you can just feed the oyster with the 2 items and she will close up again. And you can come back the next month and open it again for some juicy clue rewards. Monthly D&D is basically the most simple one. And all you need for this is some combat stats and gear that isn't all too bad. But really, you don't need high level stuff or anything. And all you have to do now is to right click this Captain Jude and then press start fighting. You can also make the repairing path. This is for people who don't want to fight and go the skilling way, for example. Then you have to repair this barrier the whole time while they attack. But I think the fighting part is definitely the easier one, because you just start the fight. Then normally you can choose between either 7 waves, the hard way, or 20 waves, the easy way. For me personally, I definitely take the hard way here. And now you just have to kill the trolls. And as you can see, they are not high level, they are really easy to fight. All of them drop some big bones, so you have unlimited prayer as long as you have a bone crusher and the necklace with you. And then you will also have this supply table where you could refill your prayer points, your food, and all that shenanigans in case you would get low. So as I mentioned, it's definitely really easy. In the last phase, by the way, you encounter the big boss called Cliff. He has 14k XP in the hard mode, so as you can see, he's not that strong, you know. And after completing the waves, you will get this little reward book. And you can read this in any skill and you will get a lot of XP. For example, in my case, I use it in archaeology and I get 101k thousand XP every month just for killing these trolls for like 5 minutes or so. As I mentioned, you could also go here and do the repairing part. If you take the repairing version of this D&D, it also works, obviously. You just have to run around this barrier the whole time and repair the walls, repair the barricades in front, light the ammo at the barista on top, and also fill the barrels with oil so the trolls die. And it is actually also really straightforward to do and really easy. And for example, if you start a new account and you don't have the levels for fighting the trolls, this absolutely makes sense. Or also, as I mentioned, if you are a skiller, but it takes way longer than just killing these trolls if you are on a certain level in combat and you don't have any trouble with that. And yeah, it just takes a lot more time, and it's at the end for the same reward, you know. And also the XP rates that you get in the minigame, for example, to fix the walls and all that shenanigans, they are not that good, so I don't even think that it's worth it to do it for that, you know. And yeah, after completing the repairing, you also get the same little reward book. Next up on the list, we have the god statues. God statues are actually these structures that you find all around Gielinor, and you can go here and then press right click and build a scaffold. And now you have a few options. I think the first time you do it, you have to talk with this guy, but you can also just start building it. And as you can see, you now have a few options, because you can now choose which god statue you want to build at this point. And depending on what you choose, you will get either prayer XP or slayer XP. So let's, for example, take the prayer one in this case. And when I press, I get into this interface. And actually, it's pretty simple if we look at it, because I get the highest one of these tiles is, and this is 5. So at least one of them will be 5 high. The lowest is 3, so everyone needs to at least have 3 high. And you have to use 19 pieces. So I do that, and as you can see, it's unfinished for now. Now I can press this button here, and he will tell me which are correct and which are not. For example, these two here, they are already correct. This one is also correct, but these two are not. So now I can try to lower this one and higher this one, and it's still unfinished, so I do it again, and now you can see it's finished. I can press the green button in this case, and he will start, or I will start building the scaffold and get 35k XP in construction. Obviously, the XP also scales with your level, so if you are lower level in construction, it will not be that high. This just took a few seconds, and now I have built a statue. And what I can also do right now is that I can pray on this statue and also get a lot of prayer XP as well. And this is not the only one that is existing in Gielinor. because there are 5 that are located on the map. For one, you need to unlock thriftiness to get access to, but the other ones I think you can just access without having any quests or anything. And now let's do it again, and this time choose Slayer XP. So again, he tells me what are the critiques to build this one, and I just fill up these tiles and then press the button and see which one are already correct, and then try again, and now we will have the correct solution. I press the button again, I will get a lot of construction XP, and now I pray on it, and this time I will not receive any prayer XP because we have chosen the Slayer XP one, and in this case it will spawn a warlock, for example, and I can kill this guy. He's not that high level 93, I think it's pretty easy, and he will reward me with a lot of Slayer XP. So that's what it's all about, building these god statues. And as I mentioned, if you have unlocked thriftiness, you can do this at 5 different areas. If you haven't, it's just 4, but still, it's a lot of XP for just insane little work. And I think especially the construction XP early on can be a little bit hard to train, so it's really nice to have this D&D. And as I mentioned, it's just so fucking easy to do. It just takes so little time. And then you can pray and you can go to the next one. The last one without the one in thriftiness is located in Lumbridge. So let's do that one again. And we are correct, and get the juicy XP. And as mentioned, if you have unlocked thriftiness, you can build the scaffold also here and get again a lot of XP. It's just so easy. And by the way, you could also restore prayer points at all of these statues. I don't think that this is essentially something that you need because they are not in the best places for that, but maybe when you run around, it can be helpful sometimes, I think. So, and now last but not least, there is also the Premier Vault. And the Premier Vault is definitely not for everyone because it's only for the Premier members. So if you don't have the yearly subscription for the Runescape membership, you cannot access it. In my case, I can do it. If you have it, it's pretty free to do, but it's also not that great, I think, because you just go in there and then you can open the chests right here. And just a little tip, you can extend the time that you are in the Premier Vault as long as you are unlocking a chest. So opening the colossal chest in the middle, I recommend to do it just at the end of the time, because then you will have a few more seconds to open other ones. But yeah, I actually don't think that it's that OP because you just get a lot of bonus XP, some little XP lamps, some tide springs, maybe Silverhawk downs or something. So it's okay, but it's not a game changer if you ask me. And definitely not worth buying the Premier membership if you only do it for this case, you know. But yeah, now I only have 4 seconds, so I go and open the colossal chest. And you can see that the time has run out, but he's still opening it. And as long as we are in this animation, I cannot get kicked out. So I will open this one, complete it, get the reward, and then I am kicked out of the Premier Vault. And there you have it. Pretty simple. You can do it once a month. Worth doing because it only takes 1 minute, but definitely not that OP. So, and there you have it. These are the monthlies that exist in RuneScape 3. And as I already mentioned in the videos, the XP rates are absolutely insane. And if you could do them over and over and over again, you would get, yeah, just insane XP rates like 12 XP an hour. So you would max out the skill in just 1 hour, which is absolutely insane. But obviously you can only do them once a month, so I recommend for everyone just to do them. And I think a lot of people have some items like this one here laying around the bank, which you get from, for example, the treasure hunter, or also from doing dailies and all that shenanigans. And this item is actually really OP because you can reset a monthly D&D once a month. So you could essentially do 1 monthly D&D 2 times and get these juicy XP rates just a second time again. And for example, at the Giant Oyster, I do this almost every month because I think this monthly D&D is just insane OP. So if you have them lying around, maybe use them. You can just press on it to claim, then use your monthly D&D that you have already done, for example, as I mentioned, the Giant Oyster, and then press yes, I'm sure, and now I can do the Giant Oyster once again. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, consider subscribing if you're new, leave a comment with some critics, and now I will see you in the next one. Have a nice day, and bye!